This is Leo, Atheist Large, here in Chicago, bringing you another vid against Islam. Islam is over, but it just, it seems to be something just that flows, you know. It's like you get a hold of something, you just don't want to let it go. And there's so much to not let go of with this religion and its abilities to be just so wrong. So, I got the idea for this from Paladin of Jesus, and he come across this site, Islam-watch.org. And Aisha Ahmed takes a devil's advocate position. She's an apostate, an ex-Muslim. She takes a devil's advocate position, in bringing 17 points of debate for Muslims to use against the infidels that would dare to debate the Quran, the Prophet, and Islam itself. So allow me to read her little pamphlet that she has put together here that seems to address and answer the question of where do they get these ideas from, Islamics that want to debate us and their absurdities that they come up with. I don't know if this is actually something that has been written, but for many of us that have been debating these people for quite some time, you know, point after point after point is made time and time again. For those of you that will be new, take this information and use it in your counters and be ready for these points because they come up constantly. You know, I've seen multiple points come up in the same conversation. So let's start with the devil's advocate point of view from Aisha Ahmed. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, we live in Kafir County, and daily we have to face the infidels who criticize Islam and our Prophet, and who want to debate us. In an Islamic country, if someone did that, all we would have to do is announce loudly what he said, and the rest is taken care of by an angry mob. The critic is lynched in no time. End of story. However, here we don't have the luxury as yet. Inshallah, in foreseeable future, after we grow in conversions of morons and criminals in prisons, legal and illegal immigration and procreation, we will, inshallah, become a majority and will not have to face this problem on a daily basis. However, for the time being, follow this approach for all Muslim brothers and sisters can use when faced with such a pest. Inshallah, the vermin will steer clear of you in the future. Number one, a popular question is why Islam calls for the death of Islamic critics and apostates. You must insist that this info is false. Quote, to your religion and to me my religion. Number two, to answer Islam spread with a sword. Say that it is a big lie spread by the Jews and Hindus, and that the Quran clearly says there is no compulsion in religion. Number three, if someone quotes violent ayahs from the Quran, accuse them of quoting ayahs in bits and pieces and cherry picking. Number four, if he then quotes full ayahs and ayahs before and after, then insist that the translation is wrong. Number five, if he brings 10 different translations, then say the meanings can only be understood by reading the Quran in Arabic. Number six, if he happens to be well versed in the Arabic language, then insist that those ayahs don't mean what they appear to mean, and they have allegorical meanings. Number seven, if he is adamant, then you say you cannot understand those ayahs in its context without reading hadiths and sirahs. Number eight, if they show up with hadiths and sirahs in hand and quotes the context of the violent ayahs by referring to hadiths and of the Prophet's rapes, robberies, assassinations, and genocides, then insist that all hadiths and sirahs are hearsay and are false, and only truth is in the Quran. Number nine, if he says the Quran is a man-made document and wants proof of its divinity, then refer to the sciences of the Quran and the book written by Dr. Bakhail, confirming the sciences in our holy book. We can also quote that Mahatma Gandhi read the Quran daily and also spoke highly of it. Number 10, if he says that Bakhail was on a Saudi payroll and that nor he nor Gandhi ever changed their religions, that Becker was challenged and proven wrong by many experts, then challenge him to ask his experts to debate Islamics like Zakir Naik. 11. If the pest still hangs around, then change the topic and find faults in other religions and their books. Number 12. If he continues on, then use personal attacks and insult him by calling a Jewish asshole, a Chinese pig, or a Hindu dog. Number 13. If that does not frustrate him, then ask him how much he's being paid by Jews to throw dirt on al-Islam. Number 14. If he still does not stop, then run for his mother and sister and use very filthy language, make sexual comments that you will do sexual things to them, and until they die, you will continue doing these sexual deviant acts. Number 15. If he is very stubborn and wants to continue, then curse him like, you will burn in hell and repent the last day. Allah will get you in your grave, etc. 16. When all of the above has failed, threaten him with bodily harm and end the debate by drum beating and announcing that you won the debate hands down because the Quran is the word of Allah. 17. If possible, announce this debate in an Islamic website that you have won the debate handily. Such announcements do wonders for the Imam and Muslim website readers and for the dawah operations in prisons to convince low IQ prisoners of the truth of Islam. Okay, those are the 17 points she brings up, and for those that debate Islamics, you will find many of these being used. Let's take the last one, that dawah operations in prisons to convince low IQ prisoners of the truth of Islam. Many conversions, I do believe most of the conversions to Islam, do happen in prison. The ability to try and convince somebody of the peaceful actions of Islam is there, and people will try and promote this. But then there's also the hate that will be involved, and they're able to suck these people in by a camaraderie of fellowship with the arms in action. You will see that many people that do come out of jail, many, not all, with an Islamic belief, they are militant as you start prodding away at their faith. Again, it says that in the Quran that the Quran is absolutely correct and that Allah wrote it, and there is no way to criticize it. And if you see in the Islamics that we're debating, they do not take to criticism well of their Quran and their Prophet. However, the proof and the truth is out there. We just have to make sure that it continues going on. Now, again, to try and cherry pick, the IQ of the prisoners, the truth of Islam, that they're doing this type of thing, this is evident. It's also a way to get out of jail early card type of thing, because you're believing in a God, and the jail system's kind of like that. I think that, now that you've changed. But this is something that they do see through, and they will not necessarily take this into account when parole hearings come about. We have here that she mentions that the population growth, and this is something that I've mentioned also in one of the vids, that they are quickly overpopulating the planet. With an average of 3.5 children per Muslim family, in just a generation, their numbers will triple. So that is why the Islamic faith is the #1 growing faith. It's not because of conversions, and in fact there's 160,000 conversions from Islam to Christianity a year.